What is the meaning of the planets in your birth chart and in astrology in general? What is the real nature of the planets' influences on our personality and character? We will tell you this and much more in a few moments. Brotherhood of the Eternal Light, teaching the Western mysteries. Qabbalistic Astrology, the planets. In astrology, the planets represent the active force or power principles. In every human being, the power of each planet is active, just as each horoscope contains all the planets. The planetary forces work through the astral plane and do not originate from the physical celestial bodies. The word planet goes back to the Greek term planetes, which means wanderer. In ancient times it was observed that some of the celestial bodies move through the sky of fixed stars. Another word for planet is therefore wandering star. The planets that were already known in ancient times because they are visible to the naked eye are Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto were not discovered until the Renaissance and modern times. Therefore, they are sometimes called invisible planets or unseen planets. So, those further material celestial bodies were discovered, which are the indicators for the astral effects in astrology, which in turn are based on the long-established spiritual principles of the Kabbalistic tree of life. Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are slow-moving planets and are sometimes called Trans-Saturnians. Due to their slow movement through the signs of the zodiac, their effects take place over long periods of time and are therefore intergenerational. For example, Neptune is in the sign of Sagittarius in the birth charts of all persons born between 1971 and 1983. Through their positions in the houses and their aspects, the slow-moving planets are also effective forces regarding the individual, and they are interpreted accordingly. In astrology, the Sun and Moon are also considered planets. In ancient times, they were perceived as wanderers, being independent of the celestial vault and the movements of the fixed stars. They also represent significant astral forces effective in every soul. Symbolism. The Vedics shows the planets with their mostly alchemical symbols. They bear the names of the gods of the Greek-Roman mythology. The different myths of the peoples use symbolic images to describe universal structures and principles, which in turn are based on the structure and spiritual principles of the Kabbalistic tree of life. The pictorial representation of the universal principles in mythology appeals to the subconscious mind. The Kabbalistic tradition puts emphasis on not sticking to these images and symbols. As it says in the second commandment of the Torah, "Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth." Kabbalistic astrology allows a profound understanding of the universal and spiritual principles which shape our personality as human beings. And it contains the wisdom to recognize, decipher, and understand the analogies and principles that are expressed by the symbols and images. At the same time, we promote the spiritual part of our soul, the neshama, and develop the mental part of our consciousness, called ruach, and the emotional part or the subconscious, called nefesh. The individual planets. The Sun. Individuality and basic character. Spiritual principle. Sefirot, the central awareness of the self. The Moon. Receptivity and sensibility. Spiritual principle. Yesod, the subconscious mind. Mercury. Clarity of mind, communication, and application of the mind. Spiritual principle. Hod, analytical thinking. Venus. Charm and creativity. Spiritual principle. Netzach, creative thinking. Mars, power and energy. Spiritual principle, Gevurah, power and fortitude. Jupiter, values and generosity. Spiritual principle, Chesed, benevolence and order. Saturn, seriousness, discipline and severity. Spiritual principle, Binah, higher insight and bitter realization. Uranus, striving for free transformation. Spiritual principle, Dhat, transformative realization. Neptune, fantasy and visions. Spiritual principle, Chokhmah, creative wisdom. Pluto, determination and striving for the best. Spiritual principle, Keta, the absolute. The lunar nodes. The lunar nodes are also regarded as active force or power principles of the horoscope, just like the planets. We consider their position as another important factor of a horoscope. Ascending lunar node, what manifests itself particularly in this incarnation. Descending lunar node, what we should let go of in this incarnation. Spiritual principle of the lunar node, Malchut, the manifest world. Further information and contents on the planets and their spiritual and mythological meanings can be found in the individual videos for each planet. You can also use our Sefirot videos to deepen your knowledge of the spiritual principles underlying the planetary forces. This video is part of our forthcoming free online course in Qabbalistic Astrology. You can find the link to all of our online courses in the video description. If you enjoyed this video, then give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any videos. See you!